Three, two, one. And we're live. We're here with Finn. Shout out Joe Rogan. He's our idol here.
Yep.
Marco's going to be talking about maybe like coronavirus for the first little bit. I don't really know a lot about it. So Finn's here to tell us a little bit. Marco knows a lot about it. So they're going to be talking. So we have our guest, Finn Love, here. How are you, Finn?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Really
course.
excited to get after it today.
Of course. Anytime, Finn. Marco, you want to kick off some questions?
Yeah. Episode 2. Here we go. So, let me just scroll up on our questions. All right. So first off, we're in quarantine right now. I just wanted to ask how you're doing in quarantine.
It's kind of beat, but we're finding ways to stay entertained and trying to get through it. Trying to, save lives by staying home, if you will. I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of trash. But I'm also trying to figure out new ways to and keep myself entertained and stuff like that.
Right. Have you been out of the house at all, or have you been just staying in, social distancing, whatever?
I mean, I've been out. Like, I go for runs. I go when we get takeout. I go with my mom just to drive around. And yesterday I went to the pool store to pick up some goods for the pool. So we're getting out a little bit, but nothing crazy. Just for stuff just for food and stuff like
Right.
that.
Well, I mean, it's important that you're doing runs and everything. I gotta say, I've been slacking on my exercise, but I've been really good with my routine lately. Do you think you've developed a sort of quarantine routine that you didn't have during the school year?
I mean, yeah. I mean, during the school year, I can't wake up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But so yeah, basically I wake up around then and I eat breakfast, whatever. Try and get my schoolwork done like before 2 o'clock. So I try and do like schoolwork from like 11:30 to whatever. Um, and then basically I like eat lunch, exercise, and I don't know. Then it's kind of like do whatever until at night. And then I like to pop out on FaceTime or play some video games, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not super strict, but it's something to get me through the day.
Yeah. I feel like you can't have strict right now. I mean, it's so hard staying in and not seeing your friends, not being able to do the things that you love. So it's already strict. So I think you need to balance that out with, loose home vibes, you know?
Definitely.
Nolan, what about you? Have you been up to anything routine wise?
Yeah, just waking up at like 11, 12, sometime around there. Do some homework. I tried learning the guitar, but it's so hard. So I gave up after like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I started skateboarding now. Hopefully not give that up because I spent like $100 on the board. But I seem to like it. It's coming along to me. It's all right.
You got any tricks?
Nah, I'm all right with the ollie right now, but that's all right. That's all I know for now.
Yeah.
What about you, Marco?
I didn't hear where you get the board.
I just got it off Amazon.
Oh, that's awesome. I know we were looking for a little bit, but that's cool. Yeah, for me, I mean, I haven't really developed any like hobbies other than maybe playing video games with friends. But for me, my day goes, I wake up around like 10 or 11. I do my chores. I hop in the shower, get ready, do homework if it's like a weekday. And then after that, it's just like, I don't know, I try to eat healthy, and listen to music when I can, but it's super like free flowing, I guess, after the whole homework thing. And I try to hop on with the boys as much as possible, get the
Yeah,
going, get the
facts.
pod going.
Are you fasting in the morning?
Today I am. Usually no, but I've been on and off with my diet, and I just feel like today I start intermittent fasting, I'll have more luck not cheating at night because technically I can eat higher calorie meals just because I'm not eating in the mornings, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm a big believer in intermittent fasting. I feel like you can lose a lot of weight. I don't know about fat, but I feel that you can lose a lot of weight on it just because, losing weight, it's just a simple calories in versus calories out. You got to eat less than you burn. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been doing well, I guess, with that. Like the beginning of quarantine, I was just like whenever I was bored, I would just eat. And
Yeah.
now I'm realizing, okay, I need to chill out because, obviously it's not healthy. So
Yeah.
I'm doing well though. Have you guys been eating good?
Then
Normal stuff? Have you been eating good?
You know,
Meals and
try to,
everything?
what?
Have you been eating good?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to, limit. I try to limit the snacks. Try to limit the dessert, but sometimes you gotta say, why not? Just go for it. Like this is already sucks enough as it is, so might as well, enjoy it a little bit.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What about you, Nolan?
yeah, same old. I think I'm doing all right. I mean, I used to eat like only eggs and chicken every day, and that sucked. But now I just had pancakes.
Yeah,
I don't diet anymore, so it feels good actually.
Mm.
So
it's awesome.
yeah, we had another question for you, Finn or Marco too. You have any bad habits that you guys um made in quarantine?
I mean, not really, other than like sleeping in and going to bed way too late.
Yeah.
I My normal bedtime is like 1:30 to 2:30 in the morning. Um, and now like this weekend especially, I like can't wake up. I want to wake up at like 10, but now I'm waking up at 12 every day, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's kind of
I
getting
feel-
out of control. I mean, I know it's not too bad, but like I'd rather be getting up at like 10:30.
Yeah, I could definitely say the same. I feel like my sleep schedule has been so off. I used to wake up, obviously during school, we had to wake up like, 6 or 6:30 to get to school by 7, whatever. But now I wake up around 10 or 11 and I go to sleep around like last night I was just watching Avatar. I don't know if you guys have
Yeah.
seen
I
Avatar on
watched the whole thing
Netflix.
in a couple days.
Oh my god. So last night I
It's
went
so good.
at 3. I got through all of season 1 and season 2 yesterday.
It's
And
so good.
yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I
But
want to check it out.
yeah, you got to check it out. But and then I guess just going back to like in the beginning of quarantine, I was just like binge eating a lot and not exercising. And now I've realized, you know, I looked on the scale and I was like 10 pounds over my normal weight. And I was like, geez, I got to hop on that bike. I got to start eating healthy. So I've been good for like the past week. I started last week. So yeah, what about you, Nolan?
Yeah, same. I just watched all Outer Banks in like one night, and then I watched Avatar. Definitely watching a lot of Netflix.
Yeah.
Just chilling. You guys watch that show?
Yeah,
Outer
I'm
Banks, of course.
like halfway through season 1 right now.
Oh, it's so good.
John B. Sarah.
My boy, bro.
Yeah.
Sarah's pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Oh, I know no one
Dude,
can say anything right
My
now.
only problem with it is how they're like 20 years old and they're like,
Facts. John B's 20,
You're
27.
you're capping. Like
He's 27.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how old Sarah Cameron is, but probably definitely like 24 or something.
I think she's like 21. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Still, like, at least make them like 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like 16's like, well, it's too far.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So let's hop into some deeper questions. Okay, so say if I don't know if you agree with, the whole political spectrum right now on Corona. I know that Trump wants to reopen the country, but a lot of people are saying that, right now we need to focus on our health. We need to continue to shut down our country. What's your stance on that? What do you think?
Well, it's obviously a very tricky question to answer, and I think both viewpoints are legitimate. Like, the people who want to open are, I would say, mostly business owners, especially small business owners, because their businesses are being really affected by being closed, or even if they're allowed to be open, just a significant drop in their income, and people that are coming through and buying stuff from them. So I definitely understand that point of view, that you want to open up so that you can save your business that you've worked hard for. you know
Yeah.
but for me personally, I think it's more important to stay err on the side of caution and protect our health, as opposed to reopen and then have another huge spike of cases. I think um we kind of owe it to the healthcare workers in a way. Like, they've been working super long days since this thing happened. Hospitals are like completely full of people, you know what I mean? So I feel like we kind of owe it to them to be responsible and stay in. Don't We can't just reopen immediately. We have to. Obviously, cases are going down, and that's great. But I think if we're going to reopen, we have to do it very cautiously, and to make sure that we don't have another huge spike, and then these people that have been working their asses off to keep people healthy and keep people alive. Um, they kind of deserve. They don't deserve to be smacked down again with another
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of cases.
Yeah, I feel like in one point of view, the people feel like we can't just keep shutting down the country. We can't shut down our economy like this. People are staying inside. And some people would say that, the corona cases are decreasing, so that maybe it's time to reopen the country. But a lot of other people are saying, if we reopen the country, then people are just going to get more sick. There's going to be a bigger spike. So I know that we talked a little earlier about maybe shutting down the country right now for a short period of time. So maybe we could have like our summer open and completely, doing stuff. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know about a complete shutdown, but I think we need to, we can't keep loosening up too quickly on our, like, stay at home orders or whatever. Because, I'm not a business owner, so that doesn't really affect me, but I'm an 18-year-old kid who wants to, see his friends in the summer who I haven't seen in, we're going on 3 months now. Missed my whole senior year, missed my whole lacrosse season.
Yeah.
Stuff I was really looking forward to, and to take away our senior year summer, and then even take away possibly going to college in the fall. For me, that's more important, and as in addition to keeping people alive, I feel like, I don't know if that's like selfish or not, but I feel like that's what pertains to me. So I'd rather stay in now so we can be together later, and that later being sooner if we
Mhm.
staying in. Because if we start reopening, then when we finally start to be with people, it's going to be pushed back because there's going to be more cases. That's what I think.
What about you, Nolan? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Finn, what he was saying. I think we should start. I don't really know this much about it, but I think if you have a small business or something, you should definitely take precautions and limit the amount of people in your store if you have a store, or something like that. Just definitely take precautions, and if you're super nervous about it, I think you should stay in. But if I don't know. What do you guys think? That's why we had you guys on here, so I could learn more about it and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think that Finn's right. I mean, if we had somewhat of a good lockdown for a short period of time, if that decreases cases enough where, we could go out for our summer and have an open country, by
Mm.
all means, let's do it. But that means that we need to stop, you know, taxing and like home payments and all of this stuff that people are paying for, because how are they going to pay for it without a job? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that if there was a short period of time where we could do like a not a total lockdown, but some kind of lockdown where people are getting free food and they don't have to pay for anything, by all means, let's do it. But that means that, we get our summer open again, because it's just, for me as a student, it's not fair to have, right now, we've already had 2 months off of school. And, the purpose of school is learning. I feel like we haven't really learned too much on like virtual learning. And it's not fair that we have our graduation taken away from us. I mean, we've been in the school district for 12 years now working, and um, we have that stripped away from us now.
Yeah.
And, it's crazy to think that someone or that our country has come to the point where our summer is in question. Like it could just be complete, I don't know, quarantine again. We could be stuck in our houses and not be doing anything. It's crazy to think like that. So I'm just hoping that this summer things return back somewhat to normalcy, and we can have some fun.
Mm.
Yeah,
Best case scenario.
For sure.
it's crazy though. Like, especially business owners right now. I know I work for a restaurant, so does Finn. We work for JT's Farmhouse, and the point of view of a business owner right now, not having any income. I know that they just opened for like takeout and stuff, but before that, like, that's got to be really scary, not knowing, what's going to happen,
Mhm.
because they have all
Yeah.
their assets tied up in these restaurants,
Yeah.
having no
Yeah.
income but still having
Yeah.
these payments.
You like put your life into it, like Justin, JT, whatever you want to call him. He's probably put his life into opening these restaurants. And then to have something like this happen, where he has no or very little income, it's definitely can be frightening. I can imagine that. You don't know you don't know the future of your business, how you're gonna provide for your family and stuff like that.
Right.
Definitely scary.
Then again, though, I mean, they obviously have been focusing on their health too. Like, they have little kids. They probably have parents that are in their old age, and it's risky. You can't be going out and everything. We have a pandemic on our hands, so it's super scary times. We have these two sides. Both are valid. Again, what you said, but yeah, it's crazy.
Mhm.
So
Is your mom a nurse?
She's a radiation therapist. So, for people that don't know what that is, they use these big like radiation machines, and they administer doses of radiation to people with cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and it shrinks the tumors.
Mm-hmm.
So while she's not fighting coronavirus directly, still is an essential worker, and she works her ass off every day.
Yeah.
She works long days, and it's definitely can be scary because you don't know where these people are coming from.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm more on the side of not opening so quickly, because like, say we start to reopen, I go out and I get corona, I give it to my mom, she gives it to her patients, they're gonna die
Yeah.
because weakened immune system from cancer treatment.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of like our duty to protect those people.
Absolutely. Well, thank God for her. I mean, she's putting her life out on the line and working and everything. That's so great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. All these essential workers working right now, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so scary right now, but yeah, hopefully this whole thing ends soon. Oh, and by the way, what would you say your mental state has been like during this pandemic?
Yeah, it's been
No, I feel like it's been hard, not being able to see the people that my best friends or, people I really care about and I love to be around and, talk with, hang out. So that's probably been the hardest thing is, not being, realizing you're not going to be able to see your friends. You know, my friends are basically my family. So for me, it's been really hard, but I think I'm very fortunate to have been able to stay, relatively stable. I mean, I've had my moments where I'm just freaking out, but listening to music for me is like what keeps me calm. And that's really been helping me get through this is just listening to listening to the music, and that keeps me level and keeps me like positive when it can be so easy to go down the opposite direction and just go be so negative about life.
Hmm. And a lot of people who have these, mental disorders or are going through depression, anxiety, they really don't have any coping methods right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you can barely go outside. You can't hang out with friends for the most part. I mean, it's all based on your level of discipline now.
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
it's really hard. I can tell you from my past experiences, with depression and anxiety, it's super hard. I mean, I have to Zoom call my therapists, and in some ways, there's like I guess a lack of reciprocation. Like I can't really show that I'm struggling, if that makes any sense.
it's more difficult to show them your emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it's really hard right now. But I guess just going for bike rides, going for walks,
Yeah,
um, doing what you have to do to stay busy. All of those things can really help. Get your mind off of these things, like all of these negative thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's definitely hard. But
Hmm.
just for those people out there watching and going through this, you know, it's important to know that, like people like me are still going through this. We're here with you. We're going through it, and I guess have hope and do as much as possible to get your mind off of negative thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. You guys have any feedback with that?
yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Definitely find a hobby, exercise, talk with your family that you can. Of course, for sure.
Yeah. Even though you can't see people in person, you can still talk to them, and you gotta stay in touch with people. And I think that's one of the key things to getting through this is don't let the fact that you can't see them in person get in between your relationship with them, and stuff like that.
Right. All right. Well, so going back to the school year and everything, what is your perspective on this year with the whole Corona thing? Do you think that they're doing an okay job with the whole virtual learning?
I mean, they're doing the best they can. Obviously, it's never really happened before, right? This is totally unprecedented and how to deal with it. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's obviously not the same, like even close to being in school. I'd say there's a lot less work to do, even on days where you still have a lot of stuff to do. It's still not as bad as going to school and then having to do your homework later. Um, it's all right. I don't know. It's like weird
Yeah,
because I don't know. I don't really know what to say because like you have to still. We had AP exams the past was it 2 weeks ago now, and it's like you're trying to learn and studying, stay engaged in what you've been learning the whole year for these exams, and then you take like your teachers away from you, and it's so much harder to learn stuff online for some people. Like I know it's definitely more difficult to get your message across to your students if you can't like physically help them and answer the questions in like real time.
Hmm.
So, I think I did all right. I think I tried my best, but it definitely was a weird experience. It's still going on a little bit, I guess, but definitely was weird trying to, maintain, I don't know, my my motivation and my interests in trying to stay ready for these tests, stuff like that.
Right. Definitely. I mean, I know that Nolan and I could say the same because, we're all in this, we're all doing the virtual learning. It's definitely hard, especially keeping your motivation up because, you're not seeing your teachers. So technically, if you don't do the work, like, you're not going to get hounded on. Maybe they're going to send you an email, but, you could choose whether or not to respond to that and stuff like that. So it's all about your discipline and if you really want it, like, on the inside if you want to do the work. I could tell you countless people have not been doing any work
Yeah.
during this corona and their grades have just been suffering. But, in a way, like I feel for them because it's so hard, you know, getting down to it and putting in the work because, for school, that's like mandated and everything right now, opening up your laptop and everything, that's your choice.
Yeah, that's funny that you said it's all about discipline. I completely agree with you because nobody's like forcing you to do it now. It's all about what's in your head and what's making you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's super hard, but I think that they're doing the best they could or the best they can right now. I know we still have a couple more weeks ahead of us, which is weird to think because AP exams are over. There's no more finals. They canceled Regencies. I mean, what do you guys think? Are you guys excited that there's no more finals and Regencies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was I only had one Regents this year, but I was not looking forward to it because it's like the last one or one of the last ones. Like waiting 2 weeks to take it after school ends is like I was dreading that. But
Definitely. I mean, it's a relief and it's like a weight off of my shoulders because now we're all basically graduated and we're all going to college. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. But
yeah,
that's definitely one thing that's like contributing to like a positive mindset now. It's like, all right, I have an hour of work to do and then I'm done for the day. Couple more weeks of this and we'll be done. And just keeping that positive mindset and that hope maybe that this summer we can do stuff. I feel like that's a great way to keep your spirits up.
hmm
Hmm.
What have you guys been doing to keep your spirits up though? Have you been developing any? I know you said skateboarding. You're doing Nolan. What about you, Finn? Listening to music, right?
yeah. That's what I was saying before. Is like I just listen. I have taken this time to really explore like music I like. I listen to a lot of new albums, not just from artists that I like, but new artists I've never heard before, new genres I've never heard before, or have heard very little of. Um, like it's soothing for me to listen to it, but it's also like kind of an adventure because you're learning, you're trying to learn about new sounds and new artists, and it's fun for me because I like I have like a whole bunch of lists on my desk. I know you can't see right now. You probably don't want to see. It's a massive mess, but just the stuff that I want to get to and experience and see uh, what it's like. Like you hear about. I follow a bunch of music accounts on Instagram. Like
Yeah.
I see all these albums and artists, but I never actually got a chance to listen to them. So now
Yeah.
I have to do that.
All right. Well, if we're diving into the music, I know, um, just for those out there, we did a Snapchat thing. We put on our stories if people had any topics or questions that we wanted to dive into. We use this app called YOLO, which is like an anonymous question sender app thing. And one of the questions was, what is your favorite genre of music or genres? And what are your favorite albums?
All right, so favorite genres are rap and R&B, and I've recently been starting to get into rock a little bit, like classic rock, stuff like that. So that's been keeping me entertained. And excuse me. Um, got sorry. Favorite album.
It's all good, Finn. It's all good.
Um, I'm gonna say of all time is "My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy" by Kanye. Um, I know we've talked about this before, off camera, but I just think it's a sick album. I'd say like my best description of it would be it's a journey. It's a journey. So if you haven't listened to that, definitely check it out. You got super high points and super low points emotionally. It's so I love that how it's like a roller coaster of emotions. And I'm just gonna say also like during quarantine, some of my favorite albums have been Blonde by Frank Ocean, Astroworld by Travis Scott, Kids See Ghosts by Kid Cudi and Kanye, and Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying by Kid Cudi have been helping me get through, in addition to all the new stuff that I've
That's
heard.
a hefty list right there, but that's awesome. I could definitely vouch and say My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy easily has to be one of the best albums Kanye's ever put out. Probably in my top 10 albums of all time, my favorites. And I gotta ask you, you have a favorite song on that album, or is it all just a slap?
It's all a slap, but I probably have to say Runaway or Devil in a New Dress. I know you don't like that song, Mark, but
Yep.
Runaway, really like the beginning, just the piano notes, that makes me cry like every time. It's just like so beautiful, I think. And then it hits you with like, the verse or whatever. Kanye's got some sick verses. Pusha T has a great feature. And then the outro to that song is like 3 minutes long, and it's so sick. It just gets that's like one of the more emotional points for me.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever been in this situation, but when your friends like, all of the same thing, but then you listen to whatever it is, like an album, I guess, and you don't like it. Like for me, I want to like it so badly. Like with Devil in a New Dress, I want to like that song so badly just because all of my friends like it. And I want to feel like the vibe of why they like it. But
Yeah.
for some reason, I just I just don't click with that song. I don't know, but Runaway, Pusha T, such a great song. Um, and I gotta say, All of the Lights interlude and All of the Lights combined
Mm-hmm.
just hits different. It just hits different. I gotta say. Um, but Kanye is definitely a very controversial artist. I mean, he like you said, he has such highs, such lows, and I think he's a great artist just because now he's developing um, that sense of talking out his bipolar disorder, and I feel like he's creating that awareness for other people. And now he's been getting into gospel rap, which a lot of people don't like, and a lot of people do like. I'm on that side of like I do like it, and I am so much of a Kanye fan that like I think if he's pursuing his passions and he's doing well with his life, I'm gonna support it. You know what I mean?
Me
Yeah.
too. I mean,
Like,
like obviously it's a little weird rapping about Jesus and God, but like at the same time, it's good music is good music at the end of the day.
and you
You know what I
gotta
mean?
listen. You gotta like keep an open mind when you listen to music.
Exactly.
Like I
Yeah.
know that me and you, we send each other songs and everything, and some of the things that you send me are a little whack. I gotta say, like the new Childish Gambino album, it was a little whack, but
So
you know what? I kept an open mind. I put my earplugs in when I was on a bike ride, and I vibed with it. You know, like sometimes you won't vibe with it. There's certain parts in the day where you're just like not in the mood to listen to music, or you want to listen to like sad, depressing music. But I don't know, you just got to find that right moment in the day and you just got to listen to it. For me, I feel like music is almost like you can almost get a sense of accomplishment with it if you think of an album as like work and you get through the whole album and you're like, wow, I just, I learned so much. I just gained a sense of wisdom. Um, and I learned about whoever the writer was. I learned about their life. I feel like there's so much to learn with music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
So I've
pretty
had
cool.
before. It was freezing up on me. I don't know if you guys like stopped to ask me a question. I don't really know, but
No,
Nah,
I didn't ask a question, but
I was just like hoping that.
no. So yeah, I think of albums as like almost like a project for me, and so I'll like dive into an album that I have no idea, what it's gonna be like. Like Finn sent me After Hours by The Weeknd, and I just didn't know what to think. I dove into it, and I was so happy that I listened to it because, A, I got to listen to a new album. B, I got to learn who The Weeknd is, and I just feel like I gained a sense of awareness that I didn't have before. I now like R&B music,
Mhm. Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought like that? I don't know if you guys think of music like that.
that's new. I've never heard of that, but I could understand what you're saying. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like for me, I don't really like. I obviously listen to individual songs, but there's something about listening to the body of work of an album that for me is like unmatched. I know exactly what you mean, Mark, about listening to something that didn't really want to listen to or had no idea what it was, so you're a little hesitant about it. But for me, hold on. This is one album called "Pray for Paris" that came out this year, but it's called by West Side Gun, and I was like really hesitant to listen to it because I was like I didn't know what to expect, but it was actually like one of the sickest things I've heard, and definitely one of my favorite albums that came out this year. So it just shows how, you know, if you just try it, you'll really, even if you don't, it's okay if you don't like it, but sometimes you'll surprise yourself and you'll find music that you really love, but you never would have guessed that you loved it.
Yeah. It's all about your relationship to yourself. If you want to, explore new parts about your life, I feel like then you'll be willing to listen to all this new music. And I feel like you got to be willing to have an open mind about things, um,
Mhm.
and dive into new parts that are unfamiliar. Like for me, if we're diving into another topics, I want to talk about movies. I used to be the kind of guy who would rewatch the same movie or the same movies all the time just because I've watched them and I know that I like them.
Hmm.
But I would never watch new movies because I'd be so judgmental and so scared. Like, what if I don't like it? Now, I am such a movie guy where I'll just go on Netflix and I'll scroll through and I'll just pick a movie out of random, even if it looks weird and whatever. But if I watch it and I like it, I gain such a satisfying feeling. I don't know what it is, but there's such an art form in music and movies that you gain such an awareness. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you guys seen any good movies lately?
I just started Molly's Game. That seems pretty lit. I
Great
haven't.
I never heard of that.
poker, right?
Yeah, a little bit about poker. Yeah, I'm only like I think a little bit more than a quarter way through. I fell asleep last night, so
It's a great movie.
yeah.
Cool. I mean, this wasn't that. This was probably like last month, but I watched Inception, uh, and that movie was sick. I love that movie. Now I like that was obviously not like a new movie, but I thought it was so dope, and I'm really glad I watched it.
Definitely.
Yeah. What
I
about
think,
you, Marco? I know you're a huge movie guy.
yeah, well, touching on Inception, I feel Leonardo DiCaprio did such a great job in that movie. Um, and Christopher Nolan is such a great director. I mean, I would say 9 out of 10. All like almost all of his movies are like box office hits. Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar. Um, oh my God, like those movies are so great. The detail that's put into it, the storyline. Um, by the way, those three movies, Interstellar, Dark Knight, um, and Inception, are probably in like my top 10. Um,
Yeah, they're sick.
but I like the director Quentin Tarantino with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that he does a really great job in that movie, uh, meshing together a true story with the whole I forget his name. Um, some guy who had like a family, but it was like I can't put my finger on it, but meshing together a true story and fiction.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Um, I'm trying to think of other movies that I like. I think Christian Bale is one of my favorite actors, just because he puts in so much work to each movie, and he goes through a complete character transformation. Like he'll gain, I know he gained like 60 pounds for Dark Knight, like 60 pounds of, I don't know, a lot of it was muscle. Um, but then, for like The Machinist, he lost 80 pounds and he looked like he was anorexic. So,
And then there's what was that movie Vice when he played Dick Cheney?
and he gained so much weight for that.
He was like 200 pounds or
Yeah.
more for that at
Yeah.
least. He's big chungus if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, he just puts in so much work, and I love that about actors when they're like passionate about, the things that they want to do. So yeah, those enough about me though. What about you guys? Nolan, you have any favorites though? I know you like Molly's Game. Any others that you
Yeah, when we watched 1917, that was still one of my favorite movies.
Oh my God, that movie is so great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
All in one take, right?
All in one take. Yeah, they won an Oscar for cinematography just for that.
Every scene was one take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole thing was one take.
It goes down, and like you can tell because it has no like A and B cameras. It's all just from one camera, and it never cuts. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Oh,
It's
You
so,
watched the movie, Finn?
I really want to.
Oh no, it was awesome. I think it's definitely one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I've heard
so
really good.
so touching, and you're gonna cry at the end. Like I cried at the end. Nolan,
Yeah, Marco literally did cry.
yeah, it was so sad. Oh my God.
You cried like twice that movie.
Yeah, it was so sad. Just like what soldiers have to go through. It's
Yeah.
insane. And in that one storyline, so much happened. And it was all within 2 days. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. That actor, whoever the main character is,
Hmm.
such a great job. Like, imagine having to memorize 2 hours of script and just having one take. That's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, if we're going on YOLO, Nolan, you pick another question.
All right. Let's see. We already got through what have you been doing this quarantine? We already did favorite genres of music. You ready for your transition into college? For both you guys, I guess. But mostly Finn right now.
I'm like, I've been ready all year.
Yeah.
I like Vapor Blue Point's been great to me, and I've met a lot of great people here and done a lot of great things. But I'm so ready to get out of here and go to Binghamton, which I've been so excited. Like ever since me and Marco actually visited together last summer, and ever since then I knew I wanted to go there. So once I got in, and I was like, yeah, like I'm so excited, and I'm so like nervous that I won't be able to go in the fall.
Yeah.
Really hoping I can. I feel like I'm so ready. So ready. I just if I don't
You're repping right now. I see the
yeah.
sweatshirt. So am
You
I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nolan, you got to rep Plattsburgh, but yeah, I'm so ready too. I can't wait. I mean, I'm really hoping that things turn back to normal. I know that a lot of California schools right now they are opening for like in person in mid October.
mhm.
So it sucks, but I mean, if that's what we got to do to get better as a country, so be it. Um, if it doesn't feel fair to us, but then again, those who are going through Corona and everything like that, obviously, it's not fair to them either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been ready. I've been ready since like freshman year, honestly.
Word.
Yeah, I've just I don't know. I can't wait for that sense of freedom that we get. I can't wait to exercise all that discipline that I need. Like right now, it's such a great time for developing discipline to go into college because in college you don't have to go to your classes. Like a lot of classes, they don't have like attendance and everything like that, but um, you still have to go because at the end of the day you're gonna have finals, and if you don't know the material, you're just gonna fail. You
And
know.
even bigger picture than that, it's like you're going there to get a job, hopefully, to get a degree to help you get a good job. That's so if you're not going to your classes, like you're just cheating yourself. 'Cause you're the one. Your family's the ones who are spending all that money for you to go,
Yeah.
and you're doing a disservice to them and yourself. I feel like.
I mean, it makes no sense if you're spending. Some people are spending, $75,000 a year to go to these private schools, and they're just partying. I mean, I know partying is like
I
one
mean, that's
of the best things about college, but you got to learn balance.
that's not hate on it, but
I'm not trying to hate on partying right now. I mean, partying is awesome, but you got to know that balance between work and you know uh, partying, I guess, doing
having
doing
fun.
whatever you like. Like for me, my dream of college, having a sick roommate, going to dope parties, uh, just having a fun experience, but learning a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm majoring in bio. I want to learn so much about the human body. I know I'm gonna have to take organic chemistry, and that's like my biggest fear right now, just because that class is so hard. But you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. And that's what this podcast is really about. Just, getting everyone prepped and ready, bettering ourselves, bettering our minds. Uh,
Yep.
this is a huge experience for me and Nolan too. Like asking all of these questions gets us out of our comfort zone. And um, I feel like that's what life's about. So if I could do that in college, I'm ready. What do you think,
Yeah,
Nolan?
definitely.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe influencing people. We already have a copycat of our YouTube channel. We just noticed that today. So
Yeah, someone posted a video yesterday. Um, and
basically the same account as us.
yeah, did you
So
watch the whole video?
I watched his intro. It was basically the same as ours. So when I saw that, I was like, all right. I mean, we have someone that's looking up to us already a lot,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird, but I don't know. We don't know what to do about it yet. So I mean, he seems like a cool guy, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
if he's copying us, that's almost like a compliment, right? But in the same, we can't let that happen, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the same name as our account and basically the same principles.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do yet. We'll see. Maybe we'll even have him on. That would be pretty funny.
That would be great.
So yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, but um, I just have a question for Nolan. What are you most excited about for college?
Damn, definitely getting away from my family right now. Like they're just constantly fighting and all that. I have 6 siblings. 5 of them are actually in the house right now. My brother moved out, but yeah, so definitely getting away from the stressful family. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's respectable.
Yeah.
I could definitely say the same. And that experience that you get when you're on your own, again, it's awesome. There's nothing like it. That's why I feel like going away to college is such a good idea, you know?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's dive into some other questions. I'll pick one. What? Oh my God, we have some crazy questions on here, guys. Like,
Yeah.
some people just ask some crazy questions, but
Almost all of them we can't ask.
yeah. Okay. What was your entire perspective of high school, Finn? What was your biggest takeaways, your best experiences? This is going to be a big question, but
All right, yeah, that's so many ways you can take that. If you want to say like best things from high school, definitely was meeting, like or developing relationships that I like with my best friends and with my favorite teachers and stuff like that. Um, that's something that isn't necessarily academic, but is definitely something that you have to appreciate and you can't really get from anywhere else. And at this point in my life, like I've gotten so close with my best friends, and I've met so many great people um, from my high school, and whether it be other students or coaches or teachers, whatever they are, I've met a lot of great people. That's probably the best takeaway from it. Um, Being able to play sports, you know, with it, having a great sports team, great guys around you, great coaches, it's definitely been sick too. You know, it's one thing just to be able to exercise. It's something to be part of like a family, and you know, going to battle together when you're playing a game. It's nothing like that. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that in college really. So you have to take can't take that for granted in high school. Um, so yeah, that's probably the best. Those are probably the biggest things from high school. What was the rest of the question? I'm blanking right now.
no, just what was your perspective? Well,
Yeah. Maybe some things that you would change about high school.
I mean, I kind of hate like the way it's set up, where you go in the morning, what I consider to be early, and you stay in the same building for 7 hours, and then you do sports, which is fun for me. But then you get home, you do homework until God knows when, and then you get like 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep, and that's just for me that's not enough. And I know for a lot of people that's not enough. Like just seeing, I know my energy in the morning is basically none. I probably look so angry, and yeah, I don't know. I definitely see other people like at the beginning of the school year, everyone's trying to like dress nice and they're energetic, and then I feel like by the winter, everyone's just like everyone's got their not as many people are dressing up, not as people
Yeah. Sweatpants, all that.
don't
I
care.
agree.
It's just sweatpants, sweatshirt, which is basically it's a move. Don't get me wrong, not hating on that at all. Um, but just you just see the shift in people's attitudes, and it's like there's obviously kind of a problem here that you have to. I know for like people who have a heavy workload, like you're having very long days with not enough sleep, just to repeat. It's very monotonous, if that's the word. Very repetitive,
Mm.
and I would like to have started school like an hour later or something, even if I feel like that would have made a huge difference. Just being able to have an hour of sleep more,
Right.
or yeah, making the school day a little shorter, definitely would be huge for people. I feel like.
All
But
right, so I'm curious. In a perfect world, how would you design school? If you had to give an example of like, one day, like a one normal day of school, what time would you wake up? How many classes? When would your break be? Like your lunch?
All right, yeah. So, I'd want to wake up at like 7:30 or 8. That would be ideal. Probably that's like 2 more hours that I get to sleep, like on a normal day. That would have made probably would have made a huge difference in my mood, my energy, my just everything. So I would want school to start around like 9. Um, that's like an hour and 15 minutes later than it does for us normally. So I feel like that would have been a huge thing. I would like to keep it ending around 2 to 2:30, which is the same time that we normally end. I feel like going later than that is just sounds awful. Um, I think we have 4 core classes is good, but I kind of think we should have another required class where it's like teaches you how to like just like life skills,
Yeah,
like how
that's
to
good. I agree
do
with you there.
taxes, how to pay your mortgage, how to, finance a car, stuff like that. Just like stuff that you're gonna need in your adult life that it really doesn't make sense why you don't learn that. Like just practical life things.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I understand, people enjoy certain subjects. I enjoy math a lot. Some people would say math is pointless, but for me that's like, so you can say that about any subject that's pointless. Like I would say English is pointless, but obviously you need to be able to learn and write, read and write and stuff like that. And people really enjoy that. But I just think that there's like a practical class like that would really be very important
Mm.
for whether that's all 4 years or even just 1 or 2 years of high school. I feel like that would be a big thing. Um,
I think Bayport does a good job of that with finance and investing. That class, I feel like teaches you a good deal. I mean, you learn how to do your W-2s and W-4s. You learn how to pay your taxes, write a check. You learn how to budget. Shout out Tommy Oswald.
my boy.
Yeah, great teacher. Also going to be a coworker this summer at JT's. He's one of the bartenders there. But yeah, I think Bayport does a great job of teaching that class. And I think Mr. Oswald, he came out of college and he was like, "Wow, I really don't know how to do any of this." And so I think that's why they started the class. The class is relatively new. I took it my junior year, and it taught me a lot. I still don't know entirely everything that adults have to go through and whatnot, but it definitely taught me a lot, and I'm glad I took the class. Did any of you take the class?
No, I didn't take the class, but it sound once you said that, I probably should have taken it.
I mean,
Sounds pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'm just
Well,
saying, like, I'm not trying to hate on the class or anything. I'm just saying I wish it was like required. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like for me, I really wanted to take that, but I couldn't fit it in my schedule.
Yeah.
So
right.
it's like if it was a mandatory thing that you had to do, I feel like that'd be much more impactful. Not that it's not trying to say it's a bad class. I really want to take it, but I just feel like people miss out. You
Hmm.
know?
I think they should definitely add some more classes that teach you like common sense things. It sounds weird to say that you should learn it in school, but they should teach you, like how to change your tire, what to do when your car battery dies, or like even like CPR. It sounds weird to teach that in school, but like those are things that you'll definitely need to know
Yeah,
because that could happen.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think they should definitely incorporate more things that are more for real world situations.
well, I
yeah.
feel like school is all about that. Like, I feel like when we were younger, we didn't know anything. When we came into like kindergarten and elementary school, they taught us so much like about morals and so many values and everything like that. I feel like high school, when you get up to high school, they should continue to do that. Teach you more stuff about life instead of you material and workload. You know.
Yeah, that's. I'm not trying to say that stuff's not important, but that's all. Yeah, I agree with you. Just if there's one more class that would apply to the real world would be, I think,
Yeah,
huge for
yeah.
everybody, no matter who you are.
Definitely.
Because I think times are definitely changing. They should definitely teach you stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Veering off of school, and I want to ask more about motivation, discipline. Um, what drives you, Finn? What drives you in the morning to wake up and get everything done? You know, you're an honor student. Um,
One of the smartest people I know.
Definitely. You do great in school and you exercise. You really do everything you're supposed to do. And what do you have, like an inside motivation or an outside motivation that helps you?
I don't know. I can't say I pinpoint something. I feel like I just do it. I just always have been like, yeah, homework sucks, but I just do it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like sound like I'm a beast or anything like that. I'm just saying like I feel like that's just how I am as a person. Like I just if I have something to do, I'm gonna do it because I have to. I don't know, not because I would necessarily want to or someone's telling me. Well, I guess someone's telling me to, but I feel like it's just like you should work hard. Like just like my parents are both super hardworking people, and that's just who I've been looking up to. I guess my whole life, just seeing them working really hard. So that's just kind of passed on to me, I guess. You know, so I just like doesn't matter what you're doing. Like we're at work, I don't like my job really, to be honest. You know, cleaning tables and dealing with all the rude people that come to your restaurant. You know, it sucks, but I feel like it's just you just do it. You're there for a reason to help out and to get paid. You might as well be doing, you know, everything you can. Yeah, like I said, I don't really like to go to high school. I don't like waking up in the morning to go sit in that building, but I just you know, I just get out of bed and I just do it. I don't know. It's just I know I have to. And I'm not gonna feel like complaining about it just makes it way worse as much as you do. And I do complain a lot, but I feel like you just gotta do it. I don't know. I know it sounds kind of stupid, but
No, not at all.
that's just how I am.
Yeah, it makes sense.
What about you, Nolan? Do you have a sense of motivation that drives you to get your schoolwork done? I know you were big into the gym. Um,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Just so I'm not like failing any of the classes that are going to count for college or anything. I don't want the college to see that I'm slacking or I know I just wanted to have a like good body so I'd always work out and stuff, but now it's not really mattering. I'm kind of more caring about my mental health. That's kind of why I'm working out more now, just to feel good.
right.
Yeah. So what do you think, Marco?
That's super important. But I have been through so much in my life where I've been at such lows and such highs in terms of my motivation, and I can say now I'm definitely a lot more steady. I do have my bad days all the time. Like I was telling you this week, you know, I've been on and off with my diet, but I think what really helps if you make um, goals. Goals are so important, and really short term are so important. uh, you know, you have to make manageable size bites when you're eating. Just like that, you got to make manageable size goals to accomplish, you know? So like my goal for today was to finish the podcast, get it on YouTube, do my chores, get ready for the day, and I know this is a stupid one, but finish Avatar. So
Yeah.
but you know what? Like life isn't about making, you know, goals only about school or, you know, your exercise or whatever.
Yeah.
Life is about making goals in every aspect, especially, you know, the aspects that you love.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point.
That's a really good point.
Finding time to do things that mean stuff to you and that will help you mentally feel better. Stuff like
Exactly.
that.
and
Yeah,
going
that's good.
to the school part, I know we talked about this earlier, but um, just with the scheduling conflict, it's so hard with school to um, to enjoy what you love just because, especially in Finn's case, you know, you wake up at 6 in the morning, you go to school, right after school, you have say soccer or whatever team you're on. Right after that, you have about 2-3 hours of homework, and then, studying. Then you got to go to bed, and you got to repeat that cycle 5 days a week. It's so hard to enjoy what you love and do what you love each day if you're trying to manage all of that.
Mhm.
So going back to what Finn said, I feel like maybe there needs to be a restructuring of either how people think or maybe like how schools work. Like if you have a dream, you got to protect it, and you have to, I guess, shut out certain parts of life in order to pursue it. Like if you want to be a great basketball player, it probably means you can't be the valedictorian. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're taking all these AP classes, how are you going to have time to practice? Uh,
hmm
I don't know. What do you guys think, though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I mean, there's also the people will say like school's not for me, and there's different people that are just saying that because they're lazy and they don't want to do it, and some people that they genuinely like you're saying, it genuinely interferes with how they want to live their life. If they want to, if you say you want to work, you want to make money instead of going to school. That's something. If you want to be a pro athlete, you have the talent, but you can't invest as much time in as you would like to be as successful as you want to be. But school, sort of fucking flying here. If you can't invest that kind of time in, it definitely prevents you from achieving what you want to be, and you kind of like, you know, I'd say probably a lot of people don't follow what they want to do in life because they think that they have to adhere to a certain structure, like go to high school, go to college, go get a job, which is exactly what I'm doing. But some people definitely are giving up on what they really care about and what they want to be. You're just being another person in the system, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
Society tells you to do.
Marco, you were saying high school needs to be restructured. What do you mean by that?
I think that high school maybe should promote more individualism, and this goes back to what Finn just said, not being like just a person in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there needs to be more options, so like there needs to be a route where there's less workload. I guess, for athletes, they would just take all regions classes, but what if you want to be an athlete and take hard classes? Maybe there should be hard classes where you don't have to work so hard, but you're still challenging yourself. You know what I mean? So maybe there needs to be more options. I feel like more options leads to more freedom, and more freedom makes you do what you love. So
I just thought of something like maybe if you want to be an athlete or something, like you can take more, like maybe they should have more options of classes where you can take stuff that will mentally prepare you for playing the sport, or give you more time to practice. Like you have to go down to the gym and practice with your coach or something. Or if you want to go into fashion, maybe there'd be more fashion classes that maybe aren't as heavy workload, but it puts you in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe music. Like I know we have at our high school we have a pretty solid music program. Maybe more classes that more focus on teaching you how to write music, stuff like that. So if you want to pursue something in that field or what, I don't know. I'm sure there's a million things that
yeah,
be like that, but
definitely. But just breaking away from that system where people think that they have to be this person in order to succeed in life. That's not true. You could be so many different people, like you could be whoever you want to be. And if it really is that important to you, like, you're going to succeed. So I feel like high school needs to maybe open up more opportunities to support different kinds of people instead of creating, the same kinds of people.
like a mold of people, something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess high school could do a better job of that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. Makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like I've said everything I have to say. I don't know. I feel like that's all put everything out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just because we're reaching almost the end, I want to get to one more thing. And this is kind of saving the best for last. I know this question's really these questions are going to be pretty deep and could evoke some emotion. So, Finn, I know that that you dealt with divorce when you were younger.
Yeah.
And first off, I wanted to ask, could you tell me a little bit about your experience and, um, how old were you? Did you understand everything that was going on? And how did it affect your life?
Sure. So probably it happened when I was like late uh elementary school. So I was probably like 10, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there. So it's like fourth, fifth grade, third grade. Um, yeah. So I would say I was pretty young. I mean, that was probably like 8, 9 years ago now. Um, so I definitely didn't understand the magnitude and what it really meant and like why something like that happens between people. Um, you know, I still don't know, but that's okay. I feel like I've become more mature and I understand that stuff happens between people. You know, and as much as it hurts, like to be the kid, to be the parents, you have to kind of do what's best for your happiness in life. And if you're in a bad or a relationship that's like not you're not happy with, you shouldn't like waste your life away, if you will, or be stuck in something that your quality of life is not healthy, you're not mentally healthy, and you're not enjoying life the way that you thought you would. It's definitely very, very tricky. And I dated people in high school, whatever. It's obviously not the same as being married, but I through that I've understand like stuff happens between people
Yeah.
and work out all the time. So I feel like maybe when I was 10 I didn't understand, but now being 18, which is not super old, but definitely experienced more stuff, and I really, it makes a lot more sense. Stuff happens between people. Like,
Right. And I know, Nolan, you went through a similar thing as well. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, it happens between parents. It's normal. So I was younger. I didn't really understand what's happening, but I don't know. There's not much to say about it. I mean, I don't know. What do you want to hear about it?
I mean, how did it affect your life? Did so you didn't really understand what was going on, but when did you gain that awareness? Maybe that your parents deserve to be happy, I guess.
Um, Definitely when I was older, like the beginning of my teenage years, when I don't know, just seeing them like apart and how they were a little bit happier than when they were together, constantly fighting. I guess it makes you feel better about it.
Right.
So I think that's a big part of it.
And just for those people out there who are maybe going through it, could either one of you talk about maybe how your relationship with both parents have stayed the same, how you still love them and whatnot?
sure. So like, um, yeah, it's obviously hard, and you don't really understand what's going on. But for me, I consider myself very lucky that I still, get to see both my parents pretty frequently.
Yeah.
It's not like one of them moved. like to another state or another country or something that I know happens to people. And you know, you only get to see them like once a month, if that. So I think I've been very lucky to still have them both play a pretty big role in my life, even if they're, you know, I'm not living with both of them. You know,
Yeah.
for people who are going through it, it's obviously be very difficult, especially if it's very like nasty and you know stuff like that. Very open that it's a problem, and you know you just gotta. I'd say the biggest thing is having your support system. Like I know I have my friends I can always go to. I know I have sports I love to play that I can go to. I love to listen to music, and all those things help me, you know, stay positive. You know, get my I can still enjoy life even if something, you know, terrible is happening. You know, I'm not saying I'm super happy, you know, like with that. If you can't be super happy, but you can still find outlets in your life
Yeah.
to
Still look at
stay
the positive sides of it.
exactly.
It's not always bad.
Right. All right. Well, that's awesome. That's good to hear. For those who are going through this, like Finn said, there's hope. You're still gonna love your parents, and really, what's most important is that they're happy. But yeah, that's awesome. All right. Just because we've reached the cap of our time, I want to thank Finn. Thank you so much for
Yeah, thanks.
hopping on
Thanks for
today.
hopping on, Finn.
Um,
Guys, thank you for having me and you know, had a lot of fun. Uh, really appreciate it. And if you ever want me to come back, you know, let me know. And I wish you guys best of luck.
Thank you. And
Hopefully we'll have you on soon, Finn.
yeah, absolutely. All right, and for our viewers, you can expect a new episode sometime in the future, hopefully soon. I
Yeah,
know
definitely soon.
this quarantine is a little hard to get a hold of people, but yeah, we'll be pumping out some new content. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you all for listening. All right, and we are done.